This episode was sponsored by Slate Black Industries. For grips and accessories, visit slateblackindustries.com.
I'll do one, like, for reals. Okay, go ahead. But Josh, we've already shot the GFR already. Under low winds.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm actually expecting that we're going to struggle with this a little bit because we have less experience with this projectile in wind. I'm a lot less confident on what the right wind calls are going to be here. Personally.
We'll find out. I mean, the idea of this is sort of the new age SPR. We've shot a lot of 5.56 in high winds. I wonder how 6 mil does. And it also gives us an opportunity to sort of review some of the things that we talked about and learn since the last time we talked about this thing.
Right on it. Yep. 200.
200.
Center. Nice.
All right. So it really is interesting. The recoil sensation of the 6 mil is just not 5.56, not 308.
No. All right, 250. Impact and that cluster on the bottom. Nice. Yep.
Yep. So it's about 0.9 on the drop out there.
All right, 300.
And I could dial 1.2 right now.
Yeah, 1.2, 1.3, somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
Start to favor just barely left of center.
Yeah.
Okay. Good hit. Yep. Actually, second shot was left to center.
Okay.
So again, this is where with 5.56, even 77s with the wind we have right now, we would be holding wind already there by at least a couple tenths.
Yeah, for sure.
And what we just saw is you probably didn't need to. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. All right, 350. Yeah, just left of center seems good because you were still pretty good on that last one.
Right.
Yep. Good hit, just left of center in that nice little black cluster there. Stack them up.
All right.
All right, 400.
400. All right.
Just left of center in the upper shoulder. Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
If you were on 2.5, that's a 2.2.
Yeah, this is a very forgiving cartridge to shoot.
And that was right where you were holding the wind, right?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
I mean, I know 3.5 is 500. I could adjust to 3 and see where that goes.
Yeah, it's probably just a hair under 3.
Yep.
Impact, just left of center, kind of cut, just low of center, just left of center. Nice hit.
Those are actually, that's where I was holding the crosshair.
Nice.
So still, no wind hold off, really. Holding left of center for me right now is an insurance that a gust doesn't push it off.
Right. Alrighty, I'm on at 5. Yeah, upper chest hit. You could even come off the elevation slightly. Good hit. Just left of center there. Very nice.
Yep. All right, 5.75 you said?
Yep.
I've dialed in 4.5.
Okay, 4.5, and again, they'll start to push left of center again, sort of left quadrant.
Ready?
I'm there. Oh, hi, Henry, at the head level.
Okay.
And it was on the right edge. So let's go left edge and go down to like a 4-2. Impact right quadrant. Go ahead and press left off the edge, another 0.2.
All right, so in light of where I'm holding, I am pushing 0.5 mils left of wind. We should start calling wind.
All right, got it. 0.5 left. Confirmed. Let's just go ahead and see what we get here. Yeah, dead center. Nice.
Okay. You want me to keep 0.5 left?
Nah, I think we got to bump it at least another 1/10 or 2 here.
All right.
Yeah, let's try 0.7.
Got it.
Over the top again, Henry.
Just slightly high, yeah. We're giving a little bit too much elevation. So some of these charts are based off of my 16-inch GFR, where Josh's GFR is an 18-inch. So let me see.
Another 0.3 down, yeah? Good hit. It was on the top right quadrant.
All right, so it could go even lower, actually.
It could, yeah.
All right, I have 7.6 for the next one.
All right, I'm there. Go left 1.
Stand by.
Impact. Right side of the target. Nice.
Oh, okay. You want me to drop another?
I mean, I kind of want to just keep pushing out. Like, that was
Okay.
a clear... Yeah, we dropped the 2 rounds. Both were elevation problems, which is totally us on the table.
Yeah.
I just want to see... I want to see what the windage continues to do here as we go further. Like, if there's a drop-off point, or if we start to really have to hold, like... I mean, that was pretty significant. You were 1, and you struck probably impact 1-2, 1-3 was the realized.
Yeah. Now, guys, remember, as we're pushing out here, this is... Yes, we've already done the GFR, but when we shot it, it was under low winds. We want to rerun it with the 18-inch version, particularly because we're really curious at how this performs in wind, and so far it is very effective.
All right, I'm on at the 9.
9, okay, got it. I have 9.8 dialed on the rifle.
Impact, left edge.
Nice. That was even a little more than we needed.
Yep, so I think, again, 125 would have been good.
Okay. All right. You ready for the last one?
I'm getting us set up there, but yes, sir, I am
I'll
ready.
dial in 11. Nice. Okay. 1.5, ready?
Yeah. Impact, left edge.
Wow, that's...
Dude.
Really, it's 1.25. That's a realized
crazy, though, right? Like...
Here, let me do another one.
All right, yeah, drop 125.
Yep, just right of it. You see it? All right.
The major takeaway for me here is that the pushing the wind on this, you know, that's like the margin for error that you're allowing for with that little of a wind call, because you're still bracketing your... like, that target is what? About a 0.5 mil, right? Mm-hmm. And you were at 1.3, basically. Impacts around 1.3.
Yeah.
Like, we got 1.5, but it was on the edge.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
And so, like, a 1.3...
I was putting 1.25 at the center line, and it was just to the right of it. So 1.3 is the correct call.
Yeah. But when we look at the comparison between when we were shooting the MR 5.56 A4 out here earlier,
yeah, it was 2.5,
and that was before the wind was as severe as it is now.
Yeah, right now I would push it at 3 to 4 mils.
And when you look then at the amount of wind deflection you get at just a mile an hour or 2 changes,
yeah,
when you're pushing the 77 just versus the 108 Hornadies here, that small amount of spread has huge amounts of impact on the actual location of the round, where you get significantly higher hit probability out of this than out of something like that.
So what, Josh, if I'm trying to put this into a more digestible terms, is, so when you're trying to make quick shots at distance, you're hit probability increases.
Yeah. And the changes in your wind are less impactful and pushing you off target, assuming a flat target size when comparing both of them against each other. And again, in terms of your ability to see the impacts, call the splashes, whatever, like for me, when I'm trying to call where these are, the two misses that we had were both elevation, both gave a nice big splash, but like even just the camera itself or the binos themselves are shaking so much in the wind. It's very hard to see exactly where these are coming in, but the hits are still quite obvious, like impacts on where they are. So
this is more exaggerated than comparing 6.5 to 308, to be honest.
it feels like it, right?
Yeah.
Like
comparing this to 5.56, because this is on a 5.56 lower.
But would you say that that's a similar comparative, like 6 arc?
I think this is even more
exaggerated. Do you think it's even more?
Exaggerated.
Yeah.
Because I think, 308 at 1,000 is still easy in this wind. Like, you can still do it, no issue. Like, it is high winds right now. The worst that we've seen were like 30-mile-an-hour winds when we're pushing out here. Right now, like 18, 20, maybe 22 gusts on it. Not as bad. Really, the difficulties with 5.56, honestly, is more so when it gets choppy. Like, I had a couple of shots out there just right now where it didn't die per se, but it went down to like maybe 12 from 20.
And that's where we're taking a left edge impact, whereas on an 800-yard target we get a right edge impact.
Yep.
Then we go to a left edge impact at 900 when we made only a 1 or 2/10 of adjustment. So
yeah. So when Josh and I are looking at targets, just imagine this is a target. I realize this is not, but a lot of times you could aim at the center, yes, but if you have unpredictable wind, this is how much work, how much an error you can have. If Josh and I were maximizing this target, you want to push it as far to use as much of the target as a hit zone. That's what we're doing. We're trying to push it to where we're aiming right here. We know they're going to land shots when it's
left of center,
stable.
right.
When it's not gusting, we'll land it on the left side. But when it is gusting, it pushes it right here somewhere. That gives us the maximum probability for this to hit. Now, if you have a rifle that has a very low wind deflection, that increases that probability out to a longer distance. What we saw right here was barely aiming off target to the left to hit that 1,000-yard target, something that you could not do with a 5.56. And that is why we took this back out on a windy day, just to see what kind of a difference we have between 5.56 and 6 arc. And again, I've said it once during the how accurate thing, like, are we shilling GFRs? When it comes to performance like this, it's hard to say that you're shilling. It shows itself, it shows its usefulness at distance.
Yeah, the performance demonstration here is awesome. Now, one piece that is a little bit different, we shot both of the GFRs suppressed. This suppressor is the one that I'm testing right now, which is the new Sandman X. Mm-hmm. I also have the Laz 6, which I would normally be running on this with a 6mm can.
Yeah.
The feel that I felt out of this suppressor is very, very similar to like the true flow-through designs, but it feels almost, in my opinion, this is weird because I'm a big muzzle brake guy. I love shooting with brakes. This, to me, these flow-through cans almost feel better. Like, at least the Laz and the Dead Air, for me, they almost feel better than a brake. I think because I have less going on near me, so I'm able to stay more focused as I'm taking the shot in terms of spotting and following the trace, spotting the impact, because I have, like, less explosion happening near me.
So that's a good point. I was talking about the recoil. That was actually something that I felt too. The recoil on this, when you're running a brake, it doesn't move much, but it's popping. Whereas
that's a great way to describe
when
it.
When you're running it with this kind of suppressor, it's almost like the difference between a 40 cal and a 45 with a pistol. Like,
great descriptor.
Yeah, this is like slowly, and it's back on target.
Yeah.
Whereas with a brake, it's like slaps you, you're back on target, but there was a lot of disturbance.
Another descriptor for that, and using your pistol analogy, it's kind of the difference between like a 124 hot load versus a 147 load.
Yeah.
Like they feel different, they respond different as you're shooting them, not being 9mm. Like, and you can be okay with both of them, but this is more like the 147 load, and I have been enjoying shooting these dead air flow throughs on both my TX-15, my MPC, and some of these, these large frame guns and the GFR. It's creating. I'm liking the feel with them attached.
There's something to be said. I know. We're supposed to use like a smaller, something more appropriate to the size of it. But I'm similar in that I know this is a long pre-debrief already. With my precision rifles, I've been using the Nomax, which is a 338 can. There's something to be said when you oversize the can. The performance that you get of it, obviously you're giving it more volume to play with. It feels nice. It feels nice when you oversize that can. If you could, I recommend trying that out.
All right, let's take it over the debrief, and we can talk a bit more about the 5.56 versus 6-arc conversation, because we're talking small frames and their role in the precision carbine game.
Yep. See you guys at the debrief.
Well, hello there. You must have caught us at the battalion field headquarters as we were about to break for lunch. Now, we're trying to not have the MREs. I hear the boys in the field are quite fond of them. I hope you're enjoying the show thus far. Shows like this, they're brought to you by Slate Black Industries. And more importantly, we have the support from the patrons of Patreon and Utreon. Now, that's true. This group of men and women, they support us intellectually, financially, but most importantly, emotionally. So today, I'd like to invite you, come, join us, become one of us. Together, we could plan to conquer the world of firearms technology. But if you cannot, that's all right. We completely understand. We'd be just as happy to hear from you in the comments section below. Well, without further ado, we'll leave you back to it.
Welcome into the debrief. Henry, we ran a GFR, a 16-inch GFR, but we did it on a day which, by no design, happened to be one of the calmer days that we get on the course. Very little wind, and in that environment, that thing slayed. Right? Zero misses, right? One miss, zero misses.
Zero misses.
Ace
Top
the
the chart.
course.
Yeah.
Ace the course. With, to be honest, very little experience shooting the rifle or the cartridge, for that matter. And I think it piqued our interest, did it not? It was like, we have to take out another one of these and try it in one of the extremely windy days where you would really see the advantage of, the large frame 6mm or 6.5 gun setups that are so popular as part of the whole MRGG evolution.
This isn't a real life situation. We're using an item that we're pushing a system to its limits that it hasn't been seen before. And a large part of that comes down to the cartridge. And the cartridges were renowned for working well in wind, and we reevaluated it on a windless day. So that's like if you had an off-road vehicle that's really great on crossing tough terrain and you run it on a track. Oftentimes, when people first start shooting long range, they think, oh, I just need to get my dope chart set and I'm good to go. What separates the boys from the men is how you react in wind and how the cartridge reacts in wind. And a lot of that comes down to much more than just the diameter of the projectile. The construct of the projectile, the system delivering it, and frankly, how a system launches a projectile and how it reacts in a wind, that is what makes a difference between a good rifle and a great rifle.
As I think back about some of the conclusions that we drew in that episode and where we saw that rifle sort of fitting into the grand scheme of sort of the modern Mark 12 and where that next step evolution to the small frame platform is going, sharing some level of similar logistics, although still departing a bit from the changes between, say, the Mark 12 and like the M4 platform, departing a bit further logistically from that. I still think more than ever, I would double down on that idea as part of the conclusions that we drew from this run. Would you as well?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it further cemented what we thought we knew. A lot of times when you actually push it in a very fixed core setting, that's it. Even though we had a few drop shots, now granted that is us using a different rifle's charts. Well,
yeah, this is 16 versus the 18. Yeah.
Right, we're pushing less velocity in the previous charts, and we're trying to see what the difference is between the two. So this is a very raw take on this, and we're bringing this to the viewers because we're expecting people who watch this particular episode to be someone who's looking for that type of data more than someone who's just looking for the video game set data. This isn't... The few drop shots I learned from that just as much as I learned from all of the hits that we showed in this episode, because those few drop shots showed me the difference in velocity that the 2 inches of barrel pushes, which, by the way, I must go back and also clarify or correct myself in the previous episode. I was worried about the chamber pressures on the previous episode. And I came in research and working with a lot of our patrons on Discord, found out that the chamber pressure for 6mm arc is actually lower than 5.56.
I think it's because in our minds we hear 6mm and it's like, oh, it must be screaming, like the pressure must be super high, it must be screaming through the barrel and like gonna eat it up, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, to your point, some of the guys in the Discord were working with us on this, and like it appears that the longevity on this should be rival that of, again, a cold hammer forged, chrome lined 5.56 barrel, which is basically forever. Like if you're shooting this in any sort of like semi precision setting, DMR setting, like you're not going to wear this barrel out. Is sort of like the general conclusion that I think we reached, which is crazy because as somebody who has burnt stainless barrels on 5.56 guns out more than once, it sucks when that happens, and even that the round count for that's quite high in order to do that. But if you're using it for a 3-gun hoser rifle and then also shooting distance with it, it's like that's going to happen. But learning that that's not really a problem with these, especially given that they're done with chrome lined barrels, is crazy. Because the accuracy results also that we're getting out of this with a chrome lined barrel is, I'd say it rivals many rifles that we shoot that are stainless guns. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I would put it this way. So while a lot of large frame ARs that we've tested cannot, and I will hammer this till kingdom come, cannot rival bolt action accuracy. I have, however, seen semi-autos that can rival bolt action accuracy typically come from platforms like this. Small frame ARs, 5.56 or 6 arc. So if you put all of that together, right, you're looking at a small frame that has, so far, from all the rounds, I think between yours and mine, we haven't gotten to the 1,000 mark yet. But
not on both of them, but we've shot at least a full 1,000
maybe combined,
6 arcs rounds.
Maybe combined both of our rifles. Yeah, it should be at the 1,000. I haven't seen a single hiccup, single misfeed, single issue. So
again, within context here, like yes, obviously that's not a high round count, obviously, and it's not definitive, obviously. But when you're shooting it in a precision setting, we're not taking it out and like burning boxes with it. It's like we'll take it out and shoot like a couple boxes, right? I mean,
My point being, when you compare this as a small frame that is able to preserve some of that bolt action accuracy, and it's shooting a cartridge that has better terminal effects than 5.56. Granted, it's not 6.5. It's not like a 3. It's especially not like a 308, where 308 is just launching stuff into just a stonewalling a target.
Yeah, it's 100. It's 108 grains.
Yeah,
right? 108 grain, I think. Yeah,
it's respectable, but it's not like a 308. So you don't have that type of terminal ballistics, but it's definitely better than 5.56. Does extremely well in wind. Appears to be reliable so far. I think the main crux of this, this pushes the small frame AR platform so far forward. One of the big issues that I still see, and not to the fault of the rifle, comes down to logistics. As much as this pushes it forward, but that's the name of the game for introducing any new cartridge. Granted, this isn't a new cartridge. For the general consumer, this is going to be a new cartridge.
Yeah.
The logistics is going to be the main crux of this particular cartridge, specifically in the GFR, because the GFR has been the 6-arc that hasn't had any reliability issues that we know of due to the design and the magazine. So,
interesting points there. I know that there are some other brands who have like their own 6-arc builds, like Cobalt Kinetics has a 6-arc build on their site. We've obviously had really positive results with the rifle of theirs that we tested. And I think Noveski has some also that they push. Don't have any experience with that, don't know. But in this setup, the actual Geissele GFR, this thing, it does appear to be where I don't see any areas where I'm like, oh, there's an obvious room for improvement here. This seems to me to be like the combination of everything that I would want out of a 6-arc gun, or a gun that's fitting this mold.
One thing,
just really quick, because you mentioned the magazine, Henry. One of the pieces that people were very quick to complain about was the G Money magazine costs in the last video, because they were used to be like $100 magazines. I think they re-released them. Now, they're still out of stock everywhere, like super hard to find, at least as of recording. But they re-released them, and they're like much more manageable now. I think like $40-$50 per magazine.
As a Sako TRG enjoyer, I must remind you that...
What is that, $300?
It's almost $300 per $280 per magazine for the TRGs.
Now, Henry, there is one other development since we did the initial run on the 6-arc, and that was the
Magpul and Surefire ICAR system collaboration between the two. Now, yes, you can completely... So, okay, let's reel this back. In the previous video on what we said, one of the potential weaknesses of 6-arc rifles across the board is magazine reliability and feed reliability. And that's why those expensive G-Money mags that you were talking about were so valuable. Because you could use those in a normal AR-15 lower, and it would feed. Since then... Surefire and Magpul did a project where they made a new kind of lower receiver specifically designed for the 6-arc cartridge, and you could use P-mags that feed 6 mil without an issue. Which
a specialty version of the P-mag, right?
Right. And these P-mags will not fit into an AR-15. That's a big point. So,
right.
You can do that, yes, but then that takes away from the idea of this is an interchangeable AR-15 system. When I'm looking at the Mark 12 and the SPR, why is the SPR special? It's because back in the day, soldiers or SEALs could just take an upper, which is the Mark 12 upper, and that just clipped onto an M4 lower, and boom, you're ready to go, right?
Yes.
There's a departure from that going to 6-arc already, because you have to use new magazines and you have to use a new ammunition source.
Yes.
But you could still clip that upper onto a lower and make a deployment kit and basically run general purpose stuff with like an M4, a URGI or whatever, and then just remove the upper and lower, stick the 6 mil arc, and you're ready to go. And that's not considered a firearm part because it's just an upper. and the optic is slave to the upper. There's a lot of logistical advantages to that. And by moving the 6-arc, using a different cartridge while it pushes it, it already takes away some of that logistical perk of sharing 5.56 with your carbine. If you further remove that, that's just a separate rifle. That's not an SPR. That's just a
right. Then it's just a different gun.
Right. So there is a core component to the SPR spirit, the SPR program's requirements that are slowly removed while you build it out. Now, some of those things depends on who you are, depends on what you need. It may make sense.
Ultimately, I'm still blown away by these guns. They feel like and shoot like just regular ARs. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it just feels and shoots like a regular AR in terms of recoil impulse, the action. I really like them suppressed. I don't know if you've had the same sort of thoughts on yours with the Hux can, but on mine with the dead air flow throughs, like they feel so soft. It feels really muted. The gun just sort of sits there, and you can run strong strings with this thing at real speed at distance, and it's pretty impressive. And I'm continually blown away by the performance of a cold hammer forged barrel shooting this level of accuracy.
Yeah. I think it's going to continually come back to the one logistical problem that you have to solve is, where can I get 6mm arc? And it's not even like 6.5 Grendel to where you can use components that you use to reload a 6.5 Creedmoor and load it in a smaller. No, that it's complete caliber change. It's a 6mm cartridge. So the logistical component, I think, is going to be a problem that the firearm manufacturer cannot solve. This is going to be a market problem at that point. So is this how far we take the SPR concept, or is there a next step? I think that's going to be the biggest question is, past this, what do you guys out there think the SPR concept could continually take? Is it an optical thing after that? Is it using an XM157?
All interesting questions. Let us know down in the comments below. For those of you who have stuck around, you are the best, and we certainly appreciate you listening to us go through these debriefs. Do all the good YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Hop over, be one of those people in the Discord who can school us up on barrel life and chamber pressure. And until next time, we'll see you on the range.
Why are you bringing these questions? It's just going to make a mess out of the comment section.
716 is Steel 96, 4 Vic, 8 packs, Redcon 1, green to green. How copy, over?
Steel 96, this is 716, roger, over. 16, Steel 91, 1 pack, green, green, over. This is 716, roger, over.
16, Steel 92, 1 Victor, 2 packs, Redcon 1, over.